Why is coming up with the name so hard? In this video, we'll go over how I made a horror game with Unreal Engine 5. But why a horror game, you might be asking yourself? Well, I'm making this game solo, and if you're like me, your Epic Games launcher looks like this. Let's face it, making games is hard, and if you're making games alone, it's even harder. So I did what any good dev does, and I looked up the easiest games to make solo. When looking at this, horror games consistently ranked in S tier, and if the itch page is anything to go by, that makes a lot of sense. Amnesia, Outlast, PT, Visage, RE7. What do these games have in common? That's right, arms. And they're first person, so RE7 aside, these games have little to no animations on the player character. I mean, sometimes you might see your character's hands, but most of the time you're just staring at a white dot in the center of the screen. This means that I could just focus on the game without having to worry about things like cutscenes. I mean, how many walking simulator playthroughs do you see being uploaded to YouTube every day? I can make that, I thought. I mean, look at PT. It's just the same hallway looped over and over again, right? It looked easy enough to make. Well, sort of, but not really. But I'll come back to this later. It turns out that even making this small 10 to 15 minute game took me well over 50 hours, since there's just so much to learn. Just on this project alone, I had to learn Unreal Engine 5, Horror Engine, blueprints, level design, lighting, sounds, data layers, optimization, GIMP, Audacity, and CapCut. I didn't even make the enemy character myself. I found her on the Fab Marketplace and bought her just to speed up time. Imagine if I had to make sound effects, textures, and assets too. It would take somebody forever to make a game. So how did I make the game? Well, the first thing that I needed to do was to get the looping hallway effect done. I initially had a different mansion level layout done, and my idea was to just copy and paste this mansion into different levels. When I wanted the player to loop, I would just change the level to give the appearance of looping. I thought that that would be easy to do. But then I tried it and it sort of worked, but it felt really bad. There was really obvious that the level was changing, and so my idea to fix this was to make the screen dark when the level was changing, so that the player wouldn't see the change happen. However, you could still feel it as the player, so I decided to scrap that and implement something new. Luckily, I found a neat video about data layers and world partition on YouTube. And the basic idea is that you build out the entire environment and then make everything invisible or unloaded except for the initial area. Then when the player hits a specific trigger point, you load the next area and deload the next one. So what I did was I built out the hallway environment and called it hallway 1, and I put that into data layer 1. Then I copied and pasted it 7 more times so that I had 8 hallways. Then I could just load the next hallway and deload the one behind you to give the looping effect. And once I figured that out, I really just spam watched a bunch of horror game let's plays while on the gym treadmill to get a sense of how to make a game scary, or at the very least creepy. I specifically watched Hollow a lot, so shout out to him. After figuring out the hallway looping trick, the rest of the game is really just changing up each hallway. And then here's a few tricks I used to speed up game development. The first thing that I did was I used asset packs. So Unreal Engine gives out free stuff every month, so if you have Unreal Engine installed, you should definitely pick those up. I know some people hate using asset packs because they might feel like it cheapens the game, or they might see the same assets constantly, or they think that a game might just be an asset flip, but I think as long as you make a quality game, the game won't be seen as an asset flip. Even AAA devs are using assets from the marketplace. The most recent example is Expedition 33. And if you look at Hollywood, like the Universal lot, they reuse props and sets all the time, and that's not really noticeable. So I think that if you just take your time with assets, you can really speed up how fast you make your game. My second tip would be to use an Unreal Engine framework or plugin from the marketplace. You can either buy one or get one for free. The one I'm using is free. It's called Horror Engine, and it honestly saved me so much time. This game would have taken so much longer if I had to create all these systems myself. Anyways, I put the game out on itch.io yesterday, link in the description, and so far the feedback has been pretty positive. Looking at the analytics, I could see that over 100 people have viewed the game and over 30 people have downloaded it. 2 people have even made playthroughs on YouTube, which just feels so surreal but also really cool. Even if the game did get trashed, it just feels good to finally finish a project. Do I think that the game is the best? No, not really. Like I said, it's super short and there's not really like a lot of gameplay to it. It's kind of like Layers of Fear, like a walking simulator but with less puzzles. And honestly, I kind of rushed the ending just to be able to finish something. If I get enough feedback, maybe I'll update the game. The limit on itch is 1 gigabyte, and my game is at 987 megabytes right now, so I don't know if that's feasible, but maybe I will update it in the future. So what can everybody look forward to now? Well, I'm really gonna try to put out another game, hopefully longer, within the next week or two. If that goes well, then maybe I'll try for a commercial release on Steam with a new game. That's the dream. I'm not sure what genre of game I want to make. I'm kind of digging the horror genre right now, but there's also like a lot of different subgenres within horror to explore. There's third person, first person. I kind of like Little Nightmares vibe, or the PSX vibe. I might go with one of those, but I guess we'll just have to see what I come up with. If you guys have any ideas, feel free to comment down below. And anyways, the game is free and the link is in the description. So also feel free to tell me if you love it or hate it. And thank you for watching.